our married life with your blessing.
You get no blessing from me, you kidnapper.
Oh, come now, Mrs. Ryder.
You're a witch. Strumpets, you're a thief.
Well, let's go, Larry. We're not getting any place.
You can't take my son from me. He's mine. He'll always be mine. Nothing you can do will ever change that. Love him. Go on. Love him as much as you know how. Give him everything you have. It'll mean nothing to him because you aren't me. Go on, take him away. Take him to the ends of the earth and he'll come back to me. Because he was meant for me and I was meant for him. Laurie and Larry. And everybody's saying what a lovely couple they make. I warned her. You can't say I didn't warn her. She went into this thing with her eyes wide open, and she must face the consequences. So I went to work. My butcher was the first person I confided to because I knew he liked to share secrets with all his customers.
Well, Mrs. Ryder, I hear you lost a son and gained a daughter.
That's right, Mr. Stearns.
Kind of sudden, wasn't it?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say so.
Who is the lucky little lady? Someone from the neighborhood?
No, she worked in Larry's office. A brilliant girl. Maybe a little too brilliant.
Oh, how do you mean?
Well, you know, Mr. Stearns, these bright ones, sometimes they aren't too stable.
Oh, flighty, eh?
No, not flighty. Moody. She has dark moods. I don't know.
Well, now, that could be hard on Larry.
Oh, don't you worry about Larry. You can always count on me to cheer him up.
That's right, Mrs. Ryder. He's a lucky boy to have you for a mother.
And there were others. Old Mrs. Martin, who lived by her telephone. And my cleaning woman and the corner druggist. I let them all know that Larry's marriage was not as happy as it could be. And I tried, successfully I believe, to plant this thought with Larry when he came to visit me. I insisted he come alone. I would not receive that woman in my home. You look a little peaked, dear. Are you getting enough to eat?
Of course, Laurie.
Your wife has learned to cook, then.
She does all right.
But not as well as I do.
She's learning.
Well, I hope so, before you waste away. Are you happy, darling? Truly happy?
Yes, I'm happy.
You don't seem to be. What is it, dear? What's worrying you?
Nothing.
Come on now, tell Laurie.
I promised not to.
We've always been honest with each other, dear, and that must never change. Now, what's troubling you?
All right, then. Roberta's going to have a baby.
Oh. Yours?
Why, yes.
But you aren't sure.
Oh, no, but...
You can't be sure, can you? Well, how could you be sure? Now you can be sure of only one thing. This is why she wanted to marry you so desperately. This is why she took you away from me. Don't you see? Can't you see that now?
Well, I
won't permit it. I won't let it happen. I won't have you the father of another man's child.
But you're only jumping to conclusions.
Oh, no. I'm certain I know her kind of woman. I told you, Larry. Over and over I told you this marriage was wrong. Perhaps now you realize once more that Laurie knows what is best for you.
But what can I do?
Do? There's only one thing to do now. Kill her. Of course, it took a lot of persuasion, but I know just how to persuade Larry. And in the end, he agreed with me. And it will be so simple and so safe. Everyone knows she's a creature of dark moods. Everyone knows that for days on end she doesn't speak to you. That she goes for long automobile rides by herself at night.
How does everybody know this?
I've told them.
But it isn't true.
Well, they think it is.
You've been planning this for a long time, haven't you?
Since the day you got married.
You're a wicked woman.
You belong to me, and I belong to you. You know that, don't you, Larry?
Yes, God help me, I know it.
Now you know what you're to do. They're turned out on the coast route, 1.5 miles below Gull Point. There's no guardrail. You let the car roll and jump just before it goes over. It's more than 100 feet to the surface.
Why do I have to do it? I don't hate her, you do. Why don't you take that gun you keep in your desk and just shoot
And
her?
have the gun traced in the fingerprints? Use your head, Larry. This way it'll look like an accident, a break face. An accident that occurred when poor Roberta was on one of her moody midnight rides.
Thought of everything, haven't you?
Yes, my dear, because I'm thinking of us. I'll follow you. I'll be waiting up the road to drive you home. When will you do it? Tonight?
Might as well. The sooner the better.
That's right. That's right, my dear. The sooner the better.
What are you stopping for, Larry?
This turnout. Let's look at the view a minute.
Oh. It is lovely, isn't it? Sliver of the moon across the water. Let's walk out to the edge. Come on, we can get a bit.
Wait, we're not supposed to?
Supposed to what?
Nothing.
Larry, are you happy with me?
Why, sure. Sure I am. What makes you ask?
You seem so strange all evening. You saw your mother today, didn't you?
Yes.
I can always tell when you've seen her. You come back to me different.
I'm sorry.
What terrible things has she told you about me this time?
Oh, nothing.
Don't tell me. I don't want to hear. I don't care. So long as I have you. Isn't it lovely out here? Be careful. Don't get too close to the edge.
Oh, it's perfectly safe. Listen. You can hear the surf.
And see it way down there foaming in the moonlight? So beautiful. Tell me, Larry. Tell me.
Tell you what?
Tell me you love me.
Why me? Why do you want me to love you? There must have been other men, older, stronger men who loved you. I'm just... You've said it 100 times. Just a mama's boy.
Oh, maybe that's why I love you. Maybe that's what I need. A man I can care for and look after, protect. There are women like that, you know.
Like my mother.
No, not like her. Women like me. I'm no shrinking violet. I'm capable and I'm smart. I'm the equal of any man, so I scare men. But I don't scare you. Do I, Tom?
No, Roberta. You've never scared me.
And I never will. I'll take care of you and our baby.
Our baby? Is it ours, Roberta?
Harry. What a dreadful thing to say.
Is it?
Who gave you the idea that it wasn't?
Well...
What a filthy, vile woman your mother is. She will stop at nothing.
That's right, Roberta.
Mother, you're supposed to be waiting in the car.
You're supposed to be doing what I told you.
Get your hands off me.
I warned you.
Let go of me. Help me, Larry.
I'm sleeping. Push her.
Larry, not you.
Go on.
Roberta.
Go on, take your baby with you and leave me mine.
Oh, God, Mother. What have we done?
Don't call me Mother. It only took a moment to release the handbrake on the car, send it rolling over the cliff, and Roberta's accidental death was complete. It was all over and done with, and Larry and I were back together again. We slept late the next morning, and we were dallying over our brunch in the sun-filled breakfast room, still in our robes and slippers when the doorbell rang. Yes?
Mrs. Ryder here?
Yes.
Want to talk to you, ma'am.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not dressed.
It's all right. We don't mind.
Well, just a minute. You can't come in here like this. Who are you?
Police?
Police?
Lieutenant Ross, homicide. This is Sergeant Abbott. Morning, ma'am.
Well, what is it? What's happened? What do you want?
Just want to ask a few questions.
You have any idea where your son is, Mrs. Ryder?
Yes, he's in the other room.
Well, he'd better hear this, too. Will you call him?
Larry,
Yes?
some men are here. They want to talk to you. The police.
Police? What do they want with me?
Mr. Ryder, when did you see your wife last?
Last night at dinner. Why?
She's dead, Mr. Ryder.
Dead?
Oh, Larry, how horrible.
Her body was found on the rocks near Gold Point this morning. Car went over, too.
Larry, I told you shouldn't let her go out alone on those long rides at night.
She was in the habit of driving alone at night?
Oh, yes, whenever she got into one of her moods.
You weren't home last night, Mr. Ryder?
No, I slept over here.
Have an argument with your wife last night?
No?
Was she in one of her moods last night?
You might say so.
Where were you last night, Mrs. Ryder?
I was right here with Larry. We watched TV until quite late.
You sure of that?
I can prove it. Larry was with me. Just what are you driving at?
This. You recognize it, Mr. Ryder?
It's a wristwatch. I gave it to her for a wedding present.
Do you know there was a message engraved on the back of this watch?
No.
The letters are so tiny it looks like a design until you put it under a magnifying glass.
Message? What does it say?
It says, I have only one enemy in the world. If anything should happen to me, my mother-in-law will be the cause.
Oh, that vicious witch. Why can't she let us alone? Why did she have to come back from the dead to haunt us?
No, Mother.
Don't you call me Mother.
All right. I won't call you Mother. The word is too good for you. You're the vicious witch. You're the one who's evil. Why couldn't you have left us alone? Why couldn't you have let Roberta and me live our own lives?
Oh, my heart. I'm going to faint.
Go ahead, faint. Drop dead.
I'm smelling salt. It's in the desk here.
Gentlemen, the inscription on my wife's watch is correct. My mother murdered her.
All right, up with your hands, all of you.
Drop that gun, Mrs. Ryder.
Oh, no, and don't either of you.
Put it away, madam. Somebody's liable to get hurt.
Indeed, yes, someone's liable to get killed. But I won't put it away until I hear my son out. Well, Larry, did you have something else to say?
Not much. Only that you killed her, and I hope you hang for it.
This is your last word to your mother.
You haven't been a mother to me ever. Parasite, a leech, a selfish, aging hag, but no mother.
That's all you have to say.
That's all.
And this is my reply, dear Larry.
Hey, grab her,
Let me
Annie.
go.
I got the gun.
Let me
Lieutenant.
go.
I got her.
Let me have it. Let me use it on myself. I must join Larry. We've always been together, Larry and I. You mustn't separate us now. You don't realize how it is with us. Laurie and Larry, such a lovely couple, people always say.
Suspense, in which Miss Agnes Moorehead starred in Don't Call Me Mother, written, produced, and directed by William N. Robeson. In a moment, the names of our supporting players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
The more things change, the more impressive is the unwavering reputation CBS News enjoys for good judgment, accuracy, and speed. That fine reputation has been earned through the dedicated efforts of men like Edward R. Murrow of CBS News. Since the days of the Second World War, Mr. Murrow's been on the job, helping to keep Americans informed. More and more radio listeners are turning to Edward R. Murrow for a better understanding of our changing world. Every Monday through Friday evening, follow the course of history with Edward R. Murrow with the news. Our World News Roundup, heard daily on most of these same stations, is another reason why CBS News is respected everywhere. Every morning, our World News Roundup takes you where important things are happening for eyewitness reports by experts. Tomorrow on CBS Radio, you have a date with history on the World News Roundup.
Supporting Agnes Moorehead in Don't Call Me Mother were Kathy Lewis, James McCallion, Barney Phillips, and Norm Alden. Listen. Listen again next week when we return with Mr. Dick Crenna in Night on Red Mountain. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Tonight, Miss Miller stars on the CBS Radio Network.